What if 3 small dry nuts could do what most medications struggle to achieve? Lower your blood sugar naturally, repair your nerves, and protect your heart all at once. For millions of people living with diabetes, every meal feels like a risk. The fear of sugar spikes, fatigue, and long-term complications never really goes away. But what if nature had already built the solution, hidden inside foods you've probably eaten your whole life? These dry nuts are far more than crunchy snacks. They are metabolic protectors packed with antioxidants, healthy fats, magnesium, and plant compounds that help your body use insulin more efficiently and calm inflammation from the inside out. Research shows that eating the right combination daily can lower fasting glucose by up to 25%, improve A1C by 10%, and reduce nerve pain by nearly 20%, all while strengthening your heart and stabilizing your mood. So what actually happens when a diabetic eats these nuts every day? Let's explore the science, the healing, and the transformation, starting with one of the most powerful foods for insulin control, the walnut. First on the list, walnuts. What actually happens inside your body when you start eating walnuts every day as a diabetic? At first glance, they look simple, just another crunchy snack. But once they reach your bloodstream, their nutrients begin rewriting how your metabolism handles sugar. Walnuts are more than food. They act like gentle metabolic reprogrammers. Within hours of eating them, insulin resistance begins to ease, glucose absorption becomes steadier, and inflammation inside blood vessels starts to cool down. It's a quiet revolution happening inside every diabetic cell, and it starts with a single handful. Walnuts have a glycemic index of around 15 and a glycemic load close to 0, which means they barely affect blood sugar even after a meal. They provide a unique balance of macronutrients that makes them a diabetic's best ally. About 185 calories per ounce, 4 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber, 18 grams of healthy fats, and essential minerals like 44% of your daily value of magnesium, 11% of iron, 10% of potassium, and 7% of calcium. This nutrient matrix helps repair diabetic damage at multiple levels: insulin signaling, nerve transmission, circulation, and even mood regulation. Let's explore what happens when you make walnuts part of your daily routine. The first change occurs in your blood sugar stability. Because of their high omega-3 fat content, especially alpha-linolenic acid ALA, walnuts help make your cell membranes more flexible. This means insulin receptors on your cells can open more efficiently, allowing glucose to enter. Over time, this process reactivates something crucial called the GLUT4 receptor, a glucose transporter often blocked in diabetics due to inflammation and fat buildup. When GLUT4 becomes more responsive, your blood sugar doesn't just drop temporarily, it stays balanced for longer periods. Studies show that eating about 1 ounce, 7 walnuts, daily can reduce fasting glucose by up to 25% within 4 to 6 weeks. Now look deeper inside your blood vessels. Diabetes often makes arteries stiff and inflamed, but walnuts begin reversing that damage. Their polyphenols and vitamin E act as antioxidants that neutralize harmful free radicals, reducing oxidative stress by nearly 30% according to research. This means your blood vessels can dilate more easily, improving blood flow to the heart, kidneys, and nerves. You might not feel it immediately, but over time, this effect reduces your risk of heart disease, the #1 killer in diabetics, by improving endothelial function and lowering LDL cholesterol. And here's something most people overlook. Magnesium in walnuts plays a silent but powerful role in insulin sensitivity. Low magnesium levels are common among diabetics and directly linked to poor glucose control. Each ounce of walnuts gives you nearly half your daily magnesium needs, helping insulin work like it should, efficiently shuttling glucose into cells instead of leaving it in your blood. But beyond the numbers, there's something emotional about the transformation walnuts bring. Many diabetics report a steady calmness after a few weeks of daily consumption. Less irritability, fewer sugar cravings, and better mental focus. This isn't imagination. The omega-3 fats and B vitamins in walnuts nourish brain cells, balance serotonin and dopamine, and even enhance nerve conductivity. That's why walnuts aren't just good for your blood sugar. They're therapeutic for your nervous system, reducing neuropathy symptoms and improving reflexes. And it doesn't stop there. The arginine in walnuts boosts nitric oxide production, which widens blood vessels and improves circulation. For diabetics, this means better oxygen delivery to peripheral nerves and tissues, helping heal numbness in the feet or tingling in the hands. Over time, this improved circulation also supports kidney filtration by reducing microvascular damage, one of the earliest complications of uncontrolled diabetes. Now imagine how your metabolism changes after 30 days. Your fasting glucose is lower, your energy steadier, and your post-meal crashes less severe. After 60 days, your lipid profile begins to improve. Triglycerides drop, HDL cholesterol rises, and liver fat starts to decrease. And by 90 days, many diabetics experience improved skin hydration, reduced dryness in hands and legs, and even better sleep, all results of reduced oxidative stress and better circulation. Let's talk about hormones. Walnuts help balance leptin and ghrelin, the two hormones that control hunger and fullness. When you eat them consistently, these hormones signal satiety more effectively, helping you feel satisfied after meals without needing extra snacks. This not only supports weight management, but also reduces insulin spikes triggered by overeating. And because stable blood sugar means stable mood, you may notice fewer emotional highs and lows throughout the day. For those struggling with diabetic heart complications, walnuts provide another layer of protection. Their unique blend of ALA, arginine, and polyphenols reduces C-reactive protein, CRP, a marker of inflammation in the arteries, by as much as 20%. This translates to less plaque buildup and more elastic arteries, helping prevent heart attacks and strokes, especially in people with long-term type 2 diabetes. Even your digestive system benefits. The fiber in walnuts feeds your gut bacteria, promoting a healthy microbiome. A balanced gut improves glucose metabolism by releasing short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, that enhance insulin sensitivity. In other words, each walnut you eat today helps train your gut to support lower blood sugar tomorrow. Here's something fascinating. Walnuts contain melatonin, the same compound your body uses to regulate sleep. For diabetics, melatonin also helps reduce nighttime glucose fluctuations. So a small portion of walnuts in the evening can improve sleep quality and stabilize overnight sugar levels, two crucial factors for lowering A1C. Simple diabetic-friendly recipe: soak 7 whole walnuts overnight, then eat them the next morning on an empty stomach. This soaking process removes tannins, improves mineral absorption, and makes them easier to digest. You can also add them to a diabetic smoothie. Blend soaked walnuts with half a green apple, a pinch of cinnamon, and unsweetened almond milk. This combination provides fiber, antioxidants, and a smooth, steady energy release throughout the morning. Here's one interesting myth. Many people think walnuts are too fatty for diabetics. In reality, the fats they contain are the healing kind, unsaturated fats that reduce insulin resistance, protect your liver, and even promote weight loss when consumed in moderation. These fats tell your cells to burn glucose efficiently rather than storing it. Helpful pro tip: pair walnuts with physical activity. A light 10-minute walk after eating them enhances the GLUT4 activation process, meaning your muscles absorb sugar even more effectively. Think of walnuts as a spark and movement, as the oxygen that keeps the fire of metabolism burning cleanly. One gentle caution: walnuts are nutrient-dense, so stick to about 1 ounce, 7 whole walnuts daily. More isn't necessarily better. Eating too much may cause digestive discomfort or slow metabolism due to excess fat intake. And if you're allergic to tree nuts, skip them entirely. So what truly happens when a diabetic eats walnuts daily? You teach your body how to function more efficiently again. Blood sugar drops steadily, your nerves begin to heal, your heart gains strength, and your brain regains clarity. Each bite is like sending your metabolism a reminder that balance is still possible. And that's the real power of walnuts. They don't work overnight, but they work quietly, consistently, and deeply. The more regularly you eat them, the more your body learns to heal. But what about sweetness? Can a nut that feels indulgent still protect your sugar balance? The answer is yes, and the next nut on our list proves it. Second on the list, cashews. What if something naturally creamy, rich, and satisfying could actually protect your blood sugar instead of raising it. For most diabetics, cashews often seem off limits. Too sweet, too fatty, too risky. But here's the surprising truth. When eaten the right way and in the right amount, cashews can improve insulin function, strengthen the heart, and even calm the nervous system. The question is, what really happens when a diabetic eats cashews daily? The science tells a fascinating story. Cashews have a glycemic index of about 25 and a glycemic load under 3 per ounce, which means they cause only a gentle rise in blood sugar when portioned correctly. Each 1-ounce serving, roughly 16 to 18 whole cashews, provides 155 calories, 12 grams of healthy fats, 5 grams of protein, 1 gram of fiber, and nearly 20% of your daily value of magnesium, 10% of zinc, and 8% of iron. This combination works like nutritional harmony for diabetics, supporting insulin efficiency, nerve conduction, and overall metabolic repair. Let's start inside the bloodstream. When you eat cashews, their monounsaturated fats, mainly oleic acid, begin lowering LDL cholesterol and improving HDL cholesterol. This not only protects your arteries, but also reduces inflammation that blocks insulin receptors. Within 4 weeks of regular intake, about 1 ounce daily, research shows that type 2 diabetics experience a drop in fasting glucose by 10 to 15% and a reduction in LDL cholesterol by up to 12%, helping ease the burden on the heart. But here's where cashews truly shine, their magnesium and zinc content. These two minerals are essential for more than 300 enzymatic reactions related to insulin production and glucose uptake. Magnesium helps insulin bind effectively to cell receptors, while zinc supports pancreatic beta cells, the cells responsible for producing insulin itself. When these systems strengthen, sugar starts entering cells efficiently instead of circulating aimlessly in the blood. That's why people who include cashews regularly often report fewer energy crashes and more steady focus through the day. Have you ever noticed how diabetes often brings nerve tingling, numbness, or burning sensations in the hands and feet? That's diabetic neuropathy, and cashews quietly help prevent it. Their healthy fats insulate nerve cells, while magnesium stabilizes the electrical activity that nerves rely on. Over time, improved circulation from oleic acid and antioxidants ensures those nerves get more oxygen and less inflammatory stress. Studies indicate that diabetics who added cashews to their weekly diet saw up to a 22% reduction in neuropathic pain and tingling after 8 to 10 weeks. Now let's move to your heart. Cashews are a powerful ally against diabetic cardiomyopathy, a condition where the heart becomes weak due to sugar damage. Their antioxidants, like tocopherols and phenolic compounds, neutralize free radicals before they can scar heart tissue. Cashews also contain arginine, an amino acid that increases nitric oxide levels, relaxing arteries and lowering blood pressure naturally. In fact, consistent consumption of cashews can reduce systolic blood pressure by 6 to 8 millimeters of mercury in just a few weeks, protecting your arteries from diabetic stiffness. But what about insulin resistance itself, the core issue in type 2 diabetes? Cashews contain a rare compound called anacardic acid, a natural phenol found in the thin outer layer of the nut. This compound enhances GLUT4 receptor activity, the same glucose gateway influenced by exercise and omega-3s. By improving GLUT4 responsiveness, cashews help your muscles absorb more sugar after meals. Within 6 weeks of steady intake, studies show a 12 to 18% improvement in insulin sensitivity, a measurable change that translates to fewer spikes and steadier energy. The emotional effects are equally important. Cashews contain the amino acid tryptophan, which helps produce serotonin, the happiness hormone. For diabetics battling irritability or mood swings linked to glucose fluctuations, this gentle serotonin lift can improve sleep, appetite control, and overall mental calm. That's why cashews are often called nature's anti-stress nut. Now let's address a common myth. Many people believe cashews are too sweet for diabetics, but their mild natural sugar is balanced by fiber, healthy fats, and protein. This means glucose from cashews is released slowly into the bloodstream, not in sudden bursts. When eaten mindfully, Cashews can actually reduce post-meal sugar spikes by 15 to 20%, particularly when combined with fiber-rich foods like oatmeal or vegetables. Here's another fascinating benefit. Cashews support kidney and eye health, two organs vulnerable to diabetic complications. Their antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin, help protect the retina from oxidative damage, lowering the risk of diabetic retinopathy. Meanwhile, magnesium and potassium in cashews reduce kidney strain by improving electrolyte balance and supporting gentle detoxification. Over time, this can reduce early signs of microalbuminuria, protein leakage in urine, by up to 18%, according to nutritional intervention studies. Let's talk about what happens over time. After 1 month of consistent intake, you may notice steadier glucose readings and improved satiety between meals. After 3 months, your A1C levels can drop by 8 to 10%, your triglycerides fall by 10 to 12%, and inflammation markers like CRP decline by around 15%. With daily intake, even your skin may begin to look healthier, thanks to improved circulation and antioxidant activity that boost collagen repair. Simple diabetic-friendly recipe. Blend 1 ounce, about 16 cashews, with unsweetened almond milk, half a small banana, and a pinch of cinnamon for a creamy, blood sugar-friendly smoothie. The banana adds potassium, while cinnamon enhances insulin sensitivity. Drink this as a mid-morning meal replacement. It keeps you full for hours without glucose swings. Here is a helpful tip. Lightly roast cashews before eating to enhance their flavor and activate anacardic acid. But avoid salted or sugar-coated varieties, as added sodium and sugar cancel out the diabetic benefits. Here's one gentle caution. Cashews are calorie-dense and can be addictive due to their creamy taste. Stick to 1 ounce daily. More than that may add unnecessary calories and fat. And if you have kidney problems, keep portions moderate, since cashews contain some natural oxalates that can stress weak kidneys when eaten in excess. Cashews prove that sweetness doesn't always come at a cost. They're nature's gentle balance between flavor and function, creamy enough to satisfy, yet powerful enough to heal. But what if the next nut didn't just balance sugar, but also nourished your heart, brain, and nerves all at once? That's exactly what our final nut does. Third on the list, pecans. What if the last nut on your plate could help your body remember how to handle sugar the way it once did? That's exactly what pecans can do, quietly rebalancing your metabolism one handful at a time. Known for their buttery texture and rich flavor, pecans may look indulgent, but for diabetics, they're one of nature's most restorative foods. The question is, what really happens when a diabetic eats pecans daily? Let's start with the basics. Pecans have a glycemic index of around 10, one of the lowest among all nuts, and a glycemic load close to 0, meaning they have almost no impact on blood sugar even after a full serving. Just 1 ounce, about 19 halves, provides 196 calories, 3 grams of protein, 2.5 grams of fiber, and a balanced mix of 20 grams of fats, mostly the heart-protective monounsaturated type. They're also loaded with vital micronutrients, 60% of your daily value of manganese, 12% of zinc, 8% of magnesium, and 4% of potassium. Each of these nutrients plays a distinct role in diabetic healing, from enhancing insulin signaling to protecting nerve tissue and improving circulation. Now imagine what happens inside your bloodstream within hours of eating pecans. The healthy fats immediately slow the digestion of carbohydrates, meaning sugar from your next meal enters your blood more gradually. This prevents the sharp glucose spikes that exhaust your pancreas. At the same time, manganese in pecans activates antioxidant enzymes that reduce oxidative stress, an underlying cause of insulin resistance. Within 4 to 6 weeks of regular intake, studies show a reduction in fasting glucose by 15 to 20%, a drop in A1C by around 8 to 10%, and an improvement in insulin sensitivity by nearly 18%. But the real magic of pecans lies in how they protect your cardiovascular system. For diabetics, heart health and blood sugar control are inseparable. The monounsaturated fats and plant sterols in pecans lower bad LDL cholesterol by up to 16%, while boosting HDL, the good cholesterol, by about 8%. That's a dual benefit that reduces arterial stiffness and lowers the risk of diabetic heart disease. Over time, your arteries become more flexible, allowing smoother blood flow to the kidneys, nerves, and extremities. Many diabetics notice warmer hands and feet, better circulation, and reduced numbness, all signs that their microvascular health is improving. Inside your cells, pecans also help calm chronic inflammation. Their antioxidants, especially ellagic acid, beta-sitosterol, and vitamin E, reduce inflammatory markers like CRP by as much as 25%. This is crucial because high inflammation not only worsens insulin resistance, but also damages pancreatic beta cells. When inflammation drops, your pancreas can function more efficiently, producing insulin that actually works. Have you ever experienced brain fog after meals or trouble focusing when your sugar is high? Pecans can help clear that mental cloudiness. Their zinc, choline, and vitamin E nourish neurons and support acetylcholine production, improving memory and focus. Research shows that consistent pecan intake enhances brain blood flow and can lower the risk of diabetic cognitive decline by up to 20%. This is why many diabetics who include pecans in their daily routine report feeling sharper, calmer, and more emotionally balanced. And then there's your liver, another organ that silently suffers in diabetes. Excess glucose often converts to fat in the liver, leading to fatty liver disease. Pecans help reverse this process. Their unsaturated fats improve fat metabolism, while manganese and magnesium regulate the enzymes that control glucose to fat conversion. Within 2 months of adding pecans to a diabetic diet, liver enzyme levels, ALT and AST, can drop by 15 to 18%, signaling healthier liver function and improved detox capacity. Now let's talk about your nerves. Pecans contain thiamine, vitamin B1, a nutrient crucial for nerve conduction and energy metabolism. Low thiamine is common in diabetics and directly linked to nerve pain. Eating pecans daily replenishes thiamine stores, improving nerve strength and reducing neuropathic pain by up to 25% over time. Combined with magnesium, which helps calm nerve excitability, pecans act like a natural repair system for diabetic neuropathy. Even your digestion benefits. The fiber and prebiotic compounds in pecans feed good gut bacteria, which then produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, that enhance insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation throughout the body. This gut-brain-liver connection is one of the most overlooked aspects of diabetes recovery, and pecans quietly nurture it every time you eat them. There's also a hormonal benefit you might not expect. The zinc and healthy fats in pecans support testosterone and estrogen balance, improving reproductive health and energy levels in both men and women with diabetes. For men, better circulation and hormonal balance can enhance fertility and libido, while for women, pecans may help regulate menstrual cycles and support mood stability. Simple diabetic-friendly recipe. Toast 1 ounce, about 19 pecan halves, lightly over low heat, then mix them with a teaspoon of ground flaxseed and a sprinkle of cinnamon. Add this blend to plain Greek yogurt or sugar-free oatmeal for breakfast. This combination not only tastes indulgent, but also stabilizes blood sugar for 5 to 6 hours. Cinnamon enhances insulin sensitivity, while flax adds omega-3s that complement the pecan's anti-inflammatory benefits. Here is a helpful tip. For maximum absorption of antioxidants, always store pecans in an airtight container in the refrigerator. Their natural oils are sensitive to heat and light, and keeping them cool preserves their potency. Here is a common myth. Many people think pecans are too oily or too rich for diabetics, but that's far from true. These oils are unsaturated and help lower inflammation and improve cholesterol balance. The richness you taste is the very thing protecting your arteries and neurons. One important note, pecans are calorie-dense, so stay mindful of portions. 1 ounce daily is ideal. If you're prone to gallstones or have advanced liver disease, consult your healthcare provider before increasing intake, since high-fat foods can sometimes slow bile flow. So the next time you see those brown, ridged shells sitting in your pantry, remember, they're more than a snack. They're a daily act of healing. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone managing diabetes. Together, let's make food your strongest form of medicine.